What's up, y'all? It's Rep from Carolina Takedown Talk. We are here with the newly qualifier for the World Team Trials here, NCAA qualifier. Man, SoCon champ, with the team title this year, North Carolina state champ, Caleb Smith. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, just chilling. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Man, you've had a busy few days here. Went and wrestled in U.S. Open. So let's talk about that really fast, man. You came out, turned it on, had some huge upsets. I mean, probably the upsets of the tournament. I mean, just absolute monster of a run, man. Tell us about it.
I went down there, and it was a little different going by myself, but I was thinking about it being bigger than myself because, App State, I want to change the culture. We're already changing the culture with our coaches that we got, Coach Miller, Coach Diave, Coach Bentley. We're starting to grow a lot, like even more like internationally wrestling and folk style wrestling. But I want to be a world champ at the end of the day. So I told myself, this is the first step. So let's go out there and make it happen. And going out there, I've never been to Vegas, so it was a lot different from Boone and North Carolina. I'll say that. But I like the weather. But going out there, I got to train with somebody like that, Arizona State kids, to get some weight off. That was pretty cool. Them letting me drill with them. That was nice. But biggest thing was the mental toughness it took. I had some doubt in the beginning, and my club coach, Mike from School of Hard Knocks, Mike Dalton, he's just telling me like,
shout out to School of Hard Knocks right there,
School
man.
Hard Knocks, Bobby Lloyd, Mike Dalton, those are my guys. They're the best. He's just telling me, he's like, you gonna come out here to lose? Like, no, we ain't doing that. He said, if you lose, I'm gonna send you backpacking. Because I lost my first match. I didn't start out too hot. I was worried about some other stuff that I can't really control. And he said, you lose, I'm gonna send you backpacking. You gonna have to find your way back to North Carolina.
Oh man.
After that, I was like, nah, we ain't coming out here to lose.
We're good, yeah.
Yeah. He's funny. He's a funny guy. But being around him really just helped me making jokes and whatnot the whole time. It's never too serious. And it's really just all about scoring points and having fun. And once I changed my focus, the results changed. So that was the biggest thing for this weekend. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, so what was the mindset going into it? Was it like win it, or was it, was the goal to qualify, or was it, just come out here and get experience? What was the mindset coming into it?
I say a little bit of all three. I mean, I never go into a tournament expecting not to win.
Right.
I tell everybody, like, if you're going to a tournament, you need to expect to win. Otherwise, you might as well not even show up.
100%.
That's just how you go. Like, as a competitor, you try to think anything less, that you're going to get less. So I told myself, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to win. And then whenever it didn't happen, my coaches, Coach Bentley, he texted me, get the next best thing. Chopper, he's our, he's going to be 74 next year for us probably. And Sean, they both telling me, all my boys, Ike Byers, Tyler Kellison, Devontae Reddick, like everybody back home texted me like, hey, we know you could do it. We know you could do it. You got to trust yourself. Just have fun. Don't worry about anything. And that really helped me a lot because, I didn't have anybody really talk to teammate-wise unless it was on the phone. So then I just stopped worrying about I putting pressure on myself and thinking like, I'm not getting first. It was just like, you know what? Somebody's going to have to pay for me cutting this weight, and I'm going to have fun while I'm doing it.
There you go.
Yeah, that's really what it came down to.
You can cut for no reason,
Yeah. Yeah. And I wanted that experience too, because I promised myself last year, because Mike got on to me about it. He said, you scared or something? Because he's just
you gotta love coaches like that, man. They're just pushing you, and it sounds like he knows how to push your buttons. And sometimes that's what it takes, man. Like sometimes it takes like a coach is getting under your skin a little bit, that bet you won't kind of mentality, Yeah,
he definitely knows how to push everybody's buttons, but me especially. And I promised myself, I was like, you know what? No matter what happens, I'm going. I don't care. I made the promise to myself. I gotta see it through. and that's what I did.
Man, I mean, every time I talk to an App State guy, like it doesn't shock me anymore. But the biggest thing that I recognize, as soon as they start talking about the atmosphere there and the culture there, is just how much you guys have each other's backs, like, and how much, I mean, because that's got to be huge to be at the US Open, to be there alone, wrestling in one of the toughest tournaments that there is, right? I mean, some of the biggest names are at that tournament. And, to lose a match, but then come back and your boys are texting you, the guys back home are texting you like, hey, like, you still got this. I mean, that's got to be huge, like you said. But the biggest thing that I keep on hearing, about App State and about Boone and from John Mark Bentley and Miller and Diabe and the boys, like, it's just the culture that you guys have built there. Was that something that was kind of shocking about college wrestling for you, or coming to App State about that? Or was that something that made you choose App State?
That's really what made me choose App State, because some of the wrestlers that were there whenever I was going to the camps were telling me, I asked them, like, I want to wrestle in college, and I wasn't as good as I am now at that point, but I wanted to go Division I, and I was asking them, like, what it took and what they think. And you could see, like, everybody was so close. Like, even the camp instructors, between the kids, like, everybody just seemed so cool, and they had each other's bags. They were playing around and whatnot. And I was like, wow, like, they seem like family. And that's what they told me. Like, wherever you go, you got to make sure that it's another family, because you're away from home. It could be hard. And that's really what you need. And really, since, I guess that was whenever I was in 8th grade. I don't know what year that was. It was a while ago, but 8th grade. And since then, I was like, if they seem like they got each other's back, that's really important to me. And it's still the same. So that's really what made me choose App State, is the bonds.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, you had some of the toughest high school brackets out there, man. Like, so 3-time state placer, state champ for Southwest Guilford. Like, you had some scraps. Okay. Finished the high school career with 186-21, dude. Like, monster coming out. Who else was recruiting you come out of high school? Or was App State like the lone, or was there anyone, I guess the better question is, was there anyone else that you were considering? Or was it always like, I'm going to App, I want to be a Mountaineer?
I mean, since I went to those camps and I seen how the guys were, like, I've always wanted to go to App State. But there were some other schools. There wasn't really one that caught my attention that much. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But I was more set on App State just because, it was in North Carolina, and I wanted to be able to win a national title in North Carolina and represent. And Coach Bentley does a good job about doing that, getting guys chances.
Man, we've kind of said it, and we saw, I think it was from LaRussa maybe, that he put out a tweet, and I agree with it so much. I just kind of been running with it, man. Is that John Mark Bentley is the best developmental coach in the country, and, like, in my opinion, just what he does, like, amazing. What's it like wrestling for him, man? What's the behind the scenes of wrestling for Bentley?
You got to be a blue collar. You got to be a hard worker, and you got to love the sport. It's really the 2 things that he asked for, that, and then effort. So I guess 3 things: effort, hard worker, love the sport, good attitude. You're set. I mean, you can be nobody. Nobody will ever know about you. And then next thing you know, you're competing with the best guys, and you can give yourself a chance. It's really up to you with your mental training, I feel like. But he definitely gives us a chance to be in those positions. He puts us, like, against the best people. Like, this year, I've wrestled, I don't know how many All-Americans, but quite a few. And not a lot of programs can say they do that aren't, like, Power 5 schools.
Right.
And, us being in the SoCon, it's a little difficult sometimes with our regular season schedule. We obviously, it's still good competition year round, but competing with the top guys year round, that's something that's kind of unheard of. Coach Bentley does a good job getting us that exposure that we need to be ready. So
yeah, I mean, you
awesome.
kicked off the season with a NCAA finalist. like in varsity gym, and wrestled him great. I like your match with Courtney was solid, man. And that was whenever I remember you can ask Ryan Mitchell, okay, yourself. I got in the car and I got in the truck after getting some content and covering the App State Open a little bit, was driving back home, called him and goes, I'm gonna tell you right now, Caleb Smith will be in the top 25 before the year is over. He will qualify. Called it that day from that match with him. I mean, how much did that like feed into the rest of the season of kicking it off? I mean, was that y'all's first tournament? Was that opening up the season this year?
Yeah.
I mean,
for
you
a
kicked
lot
it
of our
off with the
guys.
NCAA finalists, man. Like that had to kind of go from like everything else. I mean, I can scrap with him. I can scrap with the best. Was that a big confidence booster for you?
Yeah, for a lot of our guys, it was our first tournament, and I was looking forward to it because once I heard, I guess it was in the summer, Arizona State's on our schedule. I knew who I had. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
really get the bracket or whatever, but I mean, that was one I was waiting for. I was just like, I'm ready.
21. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like there's a difference
exactly.
of like looking at the bracket and going like, ah man, this guy's in the bracket. Like but there's a difference whenever you can look at it and go, all right, like that's one that's circled. That's one that I want. Like that's the goal here at this tournament.
Right. Like I wanted to show what I could do, and I didn't get the outcome I wanted, but it did help a lot mentally. Like I told myself, and coaches told me too, they're like, you didn't get what you wanted, but you're closer than you think. It should open your
Exactly.
eyes. And it really did.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And it was one of those things that like that it's kind of one of the same things that we talk about. Like I did a few videos before the state tournament of like some mindset stuff. And because that's like I really enjoyed that side of the sport. And like mental preparation for tournaments and how big of a deal that is. And I love how like prevalent it's becoming now. But even more than just the mental side of it, you wrestling Courtney, you wrestling a national finalist right there, or you wrestling a nationally ranked guy, whatever. And you could even go back to like you wrestling at the US Open, is that you get put in positions with those guys that you don't get put in with just anybody. Like you can't simulate wrestling a national finalist until you
Right.
wrestle a national finalist. And so having that opportunity and having that experience and just being in that match where, like you said, like your coaches said, we didn't get the outcome that we wanted this day, but we learned a lot. So the next time we're a lot closer.
Right. Right. Yeah, it
Man,
definitely helped.
yeah, no doubt. And man, so what was the mental mindset like going into the season this year? Did you know that you were going to be the starter? Was it one of those things that coming into the season, it was your spot, or was it something that you had to come in and grind and really work for?
I mean, it doesn't matter if it was my spot or wasn't. I'm always
Yeah,
going to tell myself I got to earn it.
right.
That's something Coach Bentley is real good about. He just keeps telling me, like, I'm not going to give you anything. You're going to have to earn it.
Yeah,
And our room's so tough. We got guys who are national qualifiers who make the lineup one year, and then maybe one year they have to take a seat to somebody else and let them shine, and then they come back. It's just hard, but it was something I was ready for. So I told myself, like, I work too hard, I do too much, I study, I do all of the right things. Like, this is going to be my year, no matter what, it's going to be my year. So that
right.
was my mindset going into the season.
Man, that's awesome. Was the goal the whole year national champ? Or
Always.
yeah,
That's always the goal.
always love it, man. Like I love it. I love that mentality of I'm not going to step on a mat and expect like my goal here isn't just to place. My goal here is to win it all.
Right.
It's like that old Conor McGregor. I'm not here to take part. I'm here to take over.
It's
You
something
know,
my roommate says all the time, Sean Carter. He always tells me that, and it's true. It's 100% true.
yeah. I mean, Conor says some crazy stuff, but he also he drops some dimes every now and then, man. It's just not here to take part, here to take over.
Right.
Dude, what was it like being a part of a the SoCon championship team that you were a part of this year as a special team?
It was awesome. I told myself I said, whenever I'm in the lineup, I don't care what happens. We're going to win a SoCon title. I kept telling myself, like,
Yeah.
it's
You had a
hard.
pivotal part of it, man.
It's hard sitting on the side, but it's awesome because you get to have each other's back. Like,
Yeah.
somebody might go down, but you get to be right there for them and let
Yeah.
them know, when it really counts, we're going to get them.
Keep
And
that energy up.
yeah, so for me to be able to finally do it myself, when we really needed it, it was just felt like it finally paid off for me being able to like in the stands, and now I'm actually in action. It was awesome.
Yeah, man. I mean, so I feel like you're just Mr. Upset.
Yeah, I try to be.
I mean, I know the mindset coming in is that you're the guy in the bracket, that there's nobody else that you're really worried about, that they need to worry about you. But man, you're busting up brackets left and right, knocking off Pat McKee at the national tournament, man. What was that like? One, wrestling at NCAAs, right? So first time qualifier. So, being there and then coming out and knocking off McKee, man, like walk us through it.
Like I said, I talked to my club coaches quite a bit and leading up to it. Mike's talking trash, and Bob, he has my back. Like, Bob won't talk as much trash, but they just keep telling me, like, you gotta trust yourself. It doesn't matter who it is. If you think you're gonna win it, then you're gonna have to beat these type of guys. And I knew that.
Yeah.
And Coach Miller and them, they all told me, like, you're ready, so might as well just go out there late on the line. And that's what I went out to do. I went out there to go score points. I wasn't even worried about like winning or losing. I was just like, I'm gonna try to score as many points as I can, and my goal is try to hit something cool or slick. And that's really, it just took over. And I wasn't even really thinking that much. It was just wrestling and
just having fun.
I came out with it. So,
man, that's awesome. I mean, what's it like being in the room with a leader and a role model like Milner, like John?
John's the man. He's like a brother to me. He's really like a really good mentor. He's a brother that like we went to the same club for quite a bit, and to see how he's grown as a person and as a wrestler, like everything is just so crazy to me. And then he gives me hope. So the U.S. Open really was like my turn to do what he does, because he always says, he wants to be the guy to put us on stage. And he does. And he's done it more consistently than anybody else in our room. And I told myself, it's my turn. John's not going to be here to hold my hand for forever. Eventually, I got to step up and be that guy for the rest of the team. So being around him, it just elevates me mentally, physically. He's just a great guy. And I don't know, I can't say enough good things about him.
Excited to have him back for another year?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Man, I was pumped whenever I saw that he's coming back. I mean, that's awesome. Dude, another guy that I want to talk about from App that really turned it on there at the end of the season, and I think we all kind of saw it like mid-season coming through, really started seeing the numbers, is Gagne. Man.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys work out a lot together?
Yeah.
Are y'all training partners a lot? And like, did you see this coming? From you guys? I mean, I really think that y'all could be one of the most dangerous combos in the SoCon next year.
I knew it was coming. I mean, I kept telling him, like, it's only a matter of time till it happens. And, he's a great dude of faith, and I try to be as well. And we just keep talking about it, and God always has a plan for us. And his plan obviously came through, and he just puts it out there, goes hard every day. He's a super smart wrestler. I try to learn from him as much as I can, because he does some things that I don't think about. And, he's just I don't know. He's funky, and I don't even know how to describe him. He deserves it. He deserves it. Ethan Oakley deserves it. Sean. Like, we got a lot of people.
That's the thing. Y'all are loaded. Like, that's the thing, is that, people see App State right now. And I mean, now they're crazy if they don't see Caleb Smith. Okay.
Right.
But, the first thing recently that they've been thinking of, is John, which deservedly so. But man,
exactly.
Y'all were loaded this year. Like, I don't want to say the backups, but like just the guys on roster, like, man, the future is bright up in Boone. The future is bright. Like, it's solid. And I really think the whole conference is starting to turn that way. Like, I really do believe that the SoCon is on the rise. I mean, I know that you guys hate this side of it, but I think competition, iron sharpens iron. So, Chattanooga, I think they're on the rise. I know y'all's arch rivals, I feel bad even saying it, but, Campbell, solid opponents that you guys competing against each other. Like I said, iron sharpens iron, but you guys are loaded and even adding more.
Yeah.
Like if you were a North Carolina guy, like it seemed like this class coming in, if you're a North Carolina guy, like if you're one of the top guys, you're going to App. I mean, bro, like
Yeah.
y'all pulled in some big name guys, and it's amazing that, I mean, it really seems like App State has become North Carolina's school. I mean, I feel like that's kind of been the reputation, but they're, John Mark he's keeping that pipeline going. He is keeping that strong. Is that something that you really feel in the program? Like, do you feel that culture of like that pride of we're North Carolina's team? Is that something that y'all really like take ownership of?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you look at a lot of the other in-state schools, and they might have somebody from North Carolina on the roster, maybe like one or two people, but most of them, it's harder for them to get a chance than it is for us at App State. And then whenever we do get chances, like you said, we're on the rise, we're competing, and that's something we definitely take pride in. Like we know we're North Carolina kids, and we talk about it all the time. And we give Coach Miller a hard time because he talks about Ohio a lot. But I keep telling him, like, hey, North Carolina is the best state. That's where all Americans at.
There
And
you
he ain't gonna be
go.
the only one. He ain't gonna be the only one. We got a lot of people. School of Hard Knocks. Like I want to say that. It's a lot of us came from School of Hard Knocks. Me, John, Heath, Ethan. Uh, there was other people before us too. Like there's quite a bit, and you haven't heard of them, Ethan, yet, but he's on the rise too. He placed at the Scuffle this year, but I've grown up with them and I've been
Well, I've
around them
definitely
for so
heard of
long.
them. I've
Oh
definitely
yeah,
heard of them. It
yeah.
just
You
the country
just wait.
hasn't yet. The
Yeah,
country hasn't
that's what I'm trying
seen
to say. That's what I'm
Ethan
saying.
Oakley. You know what I mean? Like,
Y'all
and
just wait.
some of the guys that y'all have, I mean, I don't want to say riding the bench. Like, I don't want to say that in a
Yeah,
negative
yeah, yeah.
way, but like the guys that haven't cracked y'all's lineup yet are studs. Like,
Oh yeah. I
you
mean,
know,
practice is crazy because you're getting pushed every day. It's not like
yeah,
you
no
get
easy days,
somebody
huh?
who's there's no easy practices. Everybody
Man,
wants to be the best.
man, what's that like on the mental side of it? Was that a big adjustment that you had to make coming into college? All right, we're back. Sorry, everybody. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty here, but back with Caleb Smith here, man. So the question I was asking before we got cut off was talking about the mental side of going from being the big dog, like the old saying, big fish, small pond, like whatever, to coming into App State with the killers that y'all have in that room. No day is easy, right? Like, what's the mental side of that? How do you prepare for that?
Yeah, no day is ever easy. I think the biggest thing that helps us out is probably our summer camps, because it's like when the freshmen come in and you stay in the dorms together, you guys get a bond, figure out who each other are, and that's when you make your friends. You become best friends literally like what, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And so that just sets us up for the season, knowing that we got each other's back, because camps is hard, especially as a freshman. Like if you've never done it before, being on your feet all day and then going to practice or in between sessions, like, and lifting too, it's pretty hard.
It's a grind.
Yeah, it's a grind. It
Yeah.
definitely is. But doing it together, especially as freshmen, that's the biggest thing. Like you figure out that these guys got your back, and you know who's gonna push you when in the beginning. And like you might not have a perfect day, or it's definitely gonna be hard. And you're gonna have to learn together, but you can lift each other up. That's something that my class did really well. Ike Byers, Sean Carter, Chopper, Mordecai, Tyler Kellison, they all were there to just lift me up if I had a bad day, or I lift them up. Those are my boys, and it
Yeah.
ain't going to change. That's the big thing. We know it's not going to change. Like we're boys no matter what. So, having like I said, just that camaraderie between us, that's what makes it, not as hard as you think it would be.
Yeah. It helps. It kind of, it almost softens the blow a little bit, you
Yeah.
know? I
Yeah.
mean, because man, it's got to be tough. Like, you know, every team is going to be close, like no matter where you are, because you can't go through a college season and not be. I mean, you can't go through a high school season really if the coach is running it the right way without forming a bond. Um, but man, like whenever you really care about somebody and you care about the guys that are in that room and you care about the guy that's, you know, going through a tough day over here beside you, you know, and when you have leaders around that room and you have that culture built like you guys do from, you know, your coaching staff of like looking around and everybody's picking each other up in those grinds, you know, I mean, and of course there's going to be those days where it's like, man, I hate all y'all,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
you know, but it's that family aspect of like brothers are going to fight. And, you know, and you could see it this year watching y'all compete together. You know, y'all, like you could see just how much you guys cared about each other and how much it meant to bring that SoCon title back to Boone, you know, to bring it there. Man, it was a lot of fun to watch. Man, so what's next? World Team Trials, right? That's the next big one. Are you already back training for that? I know you said you. So everybody, I just need to say this really fast. All right, we got a shout out to the student athletes. All right, Caleb here wrestled in U.S. Open. Okay, placed, qualified for World Team Trials, comes back and has a finals first thing on Monday. All right, so it's a grind out here, not just on the mat, but in the books too. You know, so shout out for you to being a student athlete, right? The NCAA loves to make sure that everybody knows that you are a student athlete, right?
Yeah, we don't do athlete students around here. We're student athletes. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. So are you back to the grind already, you know, getting ready for the World Team Trials? Or are you taking a little bit of time off, kind of, you know, maybe not healing up, but you know, any tournament like the US Open or like the NCAA's it's a grind on the body, it's a grind on the mind, you know?
Yeah, I'm taking like 2 days off, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably not that. I mean, I played basketball today, but I can't do like not do something. Then I feel like I'm cheating myself. But you know, I'm going to go in, watch some film, get my mental side right, get ready for the tournament. And then right after that tournament, we're going to U23s. Like I think 2 weeks after that or something like that.
Yeah.
So
you got a busy off season, man. You're just gonna keep on scrapping. Hey, so you know, we've talked a lot about the mental side of things. Is that something that you know started using in high school, or is that something that really kicked off in college? And who really showed you the importance of that?
Really, it was Kerry Miller and Mike Mock. Kerry,
Shout out Mike Mock,
yeah,
US Open
guy.
champ right there, man.
That's my guy.
We talked to him the week before, dude. Tarzan
Yes.
right there. Okay,
he's a beast on and off the mat. He talks to me all the time. Like that's the thing about North Carolina boys. You always got each other's back. Richard
Mock's
Turner,
the man. Yeah,
he was my. He warmed up with me the last 2 sessions. So that's my guy too. Like, and I was on
another place for there. Yeah,
yeah. He like North Carolina. We're just so close knit. It's awesome. But
I love it.
He told Kerry that if he really cared about wrestling like he said he did, and if he really wanted to elevate his game, he'd go see the sports psychiatrist. So Jacob Cooper, our sports psychiatrist, he's the man. I go see him all the time. And I try to study on top of that, like the champions' mindsets. Like you said, I study Conor McGregor, my favorite, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson. Like I just listen to what they say and what they think, and they speak it into existence. So that's something I'm really big on, and I write it down every day.
Yeah.
Like, it changes the game.
So, I mean, I know, and you mentioned, you know, you were talking about Gagne. You mentioned your faith. You know, is that something that you guys kind of get together and, you know, talk about? Is that something you guys have something on the team that y'all have set up, or, you know, talk about that, man?
It's like it's probably the most important thing out of all this. Like I don't care what type of wrestler I am or person. That's what makes me who I am. At the end of the day, you know, all this could go to waste, and as long as I have my faith, that's all I really need. But we try to live by that, and you know, Heath, me, a lot of the people, Chad Bellis, he's from Illinois, he's beast, 125-pounder. John, we have like a lot of people, Coach Bentley, that back by their faith, they live by their faith, and you know, we talk about it as a team. We don't try to force it upon each other, but we just talk about it about as a team. And, if somebody has questions, we're open to it. We go to church together. We try to go to Bible study together, something we've been doing a lot. It's definitely something. It's the main thing that keeps me grounded during wrestling season. Right? It don't matter. You're going to go through slumps, but if you have something bigger than you, you can get through anything. And God definitely does that for me.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Gives me goosebumps. I love hearing it, man. It's just awesome. And it's even cooler that you're able to speak about that, and that you're, strong enough and proud enough of that to be able to speak about that and, share your faith and, give your your testimony on that. That's awesome. Man, I mean, kudos to you guys. Kudos to you. Man, I can't wait to see you keep on scrapping, man. Like, cause I've been saying it all year, and I don't just say that cause you're here. You can go back and watch some videos, some episodes that me and Ryan talked about. You can talk to Ryan, few behind the camera conversations, but I think you have one of the highest upsides of anybody in the nation. I think we're really just cracking like the surface of what you can bring. Man, I can't wait. But there's one last thing I gotta bring up, man. How did they not have those Boone RTC singlets in time, man?
I was asking about them too
because they are fire. They are all like one of my favorite singlets I've ever seen. I mean, I grew up in Charlotte, moved up here to the mountains right around middle school, high school age. And so that mountain design on there, some of my favorite singlets I've ever seen. How did they not have it ready for the U.S. Open, man? I know you're going to have them for the trials, but come on now.
Coach Miller, shout out to him because he designed them.
Man, they're sick.
It was like he got them from like Russia or something, and like the shipping got all messed up. I don't know, because I was thinking the same thing you were thinking. I was ready to let him loose, but it's all right. We're just gonna go ahead and go undefeated, and that's all that matters.
No, exactly, man. I love it, man. Again, thank you for coming on. Man, you're welcome on anytime you want to. We're big fans here, and man, good luck World Team Trials. Anything else you want to say? Anybody want to shout out or anything like that?
Yeah, shout out Devin Snyder, Nick Lord, Andrew Chu for getting me into wrestling, and for my parents for pushing me and having my back all the time. And then lastly, just the boys. All y'all boys. Couldn't be here without y'all. It's a team effort.
They know who they are, huh?
They all know.
That's awesome, man. All right. Thanks for coming on. Really, we appreciate it.